we have two solo exhibitions today sharing the same space, and then the other artist obviously is BRAT. So we'll turn around, we'll go to the other side and continue the talk. So here we are. It's actually another first. It's the first time BRAT is Jack Manning Bancroft's artist name. This is alter ego. From what I gather, Jack, when he sort of wants to have an alter ego to dream about something else in a different place or space, he becomes BRAT. And this is what this whole body of work is about. You know, like I suppose we all like to think that we go to another place. We like to think that we can be a different place, go on an adventure. So to me, it looks like that's what BRAT is doing. You know, a whole body of work. So I mean, you can read so much into all this work. So one thing is like I really like to thank you all to be here, because in a way we actually moved the exhibition 1 week earlier. I was supposed to be in Darwin for the Telstra Award yesterday, and then the reason why we moved it 1 week forward is thanks to Peter Frost, who is very active at the Newcastle Art Gallery Foundation. He's actually rang me up and said, Simon, we are bringing 40 people on a bus to come to Charles Showing Museum in Sydney Uni, and we'd like to drop into your gallery before we go there. So what exhibition we have then? And then I thought to myself, actually, don't have an exhibition. So I decided, okay, I won't go to Darwin. I will stay here and have this exhibition here, and so that they can come to the gallery and see these two fantastic exhibitions. But unfortunately, a lot of people are in Darwin, but they will be back for, we have an artist talk next week for both Jack and also Jeffrey. So hopefully you might like to come along for that as well. And but in the meantime, this is the first time Jack has shown with us, and we'd like to think that it's a long-term partnership. I first met Jack actually only last year, but I've heard so much about him. He's done so many great things. He actually was in uni at the same time as my daughter, Melissa. They were in the same year doing media and communication at City Uni. But I've heard so much about Jack. He also went to City Boys High. My son also was quite a few years younger. He also went to City Boys High. And so Jack started this organization called AIM. And how I actually, first time I met him was last year when Bronwyn suggested that he should do an event in Sydney, and then we hosted it. And it was a great event, and I'm going to continue to support Jack with AIM moving forward. But in the meantime, I think he's actually got a future as an artist as well. So I'd like you all to welcome BRAT.
It's fun to be able to put on a BRAT hat. Uncle, thanks for the welcome and for the space to bring us in and settle. And when we spoke about like showing here, Simon, and you called me up and said, "Oh, what do you think about showing with another artist?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, who do you want to do it with?" And you said Jeffrey. I was just like, oh, my heart and my memory and everything just like exploded. And I just thought, what a beautiful honour to have a chance to be in the same room as Uncle and Mum, and to be able to have my little girls running around. And that was an easy pick. We're just running around with Marley exhibitions and watching these tornadoes try and break through in the 70s and 80s and 90s, and then having them back in our backyard and catching the waves of all of these, like, you know, there wasn't much more talk. It was, you know, how do we establish ourselves and keep that bloodline alive and keep that story alive. And then I was scared of paint because Mum's a freak. Like, I don't know if anyone knows from Bancroft is my mum, but like from being pen as age at school, it was like, oh, do you want to come to art class? I'm like, no, what that lady can do. So I was really scared, and I spent my whole, like, probably 25 years sort of doing sports stuff, and very scared of failure, very scared of looking stupid, very scared of being soft as a guy. And like and not ever sure how the heck you cross that line, like you put a bit of paint down on a canvas, like that was one of the scariest things to possibly do because I was afraid of losing control. And yeah, in parallel, I'd like grown up pretty quickly and taken this really serious stuff with AIM, trying to change inequity in Australia, which we're now doing globally. And this work in the last like 7-8 years when I met my partner Yael in New York, she kind of, it was in parallel to taking AIM globally, and it was suddenly past my ability to think. Like I couldn't think my way through how to do that. I had to, like Uncle Jeffrey was saying, sort of, you have to feel that connection when you go across borders. You can't, it becomes not in straight lines anymore. So I had to put the work ethic aside and the thinking, and then try and feel my way. So we're in New York, and like I started drawing like a tiny little piece of paper, and Yali was like really encouraging. And so the first like drawing of it, she got it framed and like put it up in our apartment, and I was like, oh, okay, I can draw. And then I did that for a couple of years, and then when the pandemic came, it was just like actually out of losing my mind, trying to work out how to change the planet. I felt like the world was going to stop, and we had a window to rewrite the rules to try and like reorder the way we were going to work. And I had to find the intelligence to think in that dimension. The only way I could get smarter was through painting. That was the only way I could get closer to touching the magic of the notes of the biggest ideas, was to get somewhere near that essence, and then it would take me like years to try and translate it into too many words you have to write or whatever. So all the paint became this like refuge for me. I'd do the work stuff and then paint would pour out. And I remember like looking at Pascal's work when we were in New York, and he'd done 1,000 paintings and 1,000 drawings. And I was like, oh yeah, that feels like that's pent up in my body somewhere now. So like hundreds of paintings just started pouring out. I was pouring paint over our like balcony onto a 10-metre canvas when my partner was like, maybe get a studio. Okay. And then these, in the last like 2 years, I started painting these Mad Hatters, and why I wanted to do it is to remind, we're sort of working all over the world, and I reckon there's 1 to 2 people in each region that are grown-ups that are still imagining in a city or a town that really like, the hearts are still open, that through all the pain and everything that's happened in adulthood, that you're like, you're still crazy enough to think you can do something remarkable in your life. And I get to meet a lot of them around the world, and I want them to stay mad. I want them to stay there and to be the people that keep dreaming, because if we hold on to those notes for long enough, and we connect through paint or through song or through dance or through love or through that deeper feeling, that we're a chance we might hold that dimension together for what comes next. And then, so that's sort of part of like the Stay Mad piece with the Mad Hatter, and then the second part is Alice in Wonderland, and just that scene when Alice is at the Mad Hatter tea party. I kind of read that as, that's it. Like if you're at a table with a bunch of kooks, like that's it. That's the meaning of life. Like, and the stories are going nuts, and everything's going left, right, and centre, and it's bonkers, and it's like the lights in different directions. And you're getting close to touching magic. That's it. Because we're all going to die, and there's nothing else, there's no award that's going to fill that hole, there's nothing else but those moments of like total magic, and you can be just drinking a cup of tea. And if you run away from that table chasing like glory or chasing awards, then a queen's going to come chop your head off. So I just want people to those Mad Hatter moments to stay there and know that that's the essence of the magic of what it means to be a human being, to have a moment in that space between. So yeah, this is a bunch of Mad Hatters in different shapes and spaces, and yeah, it's like really fun to be here. I think you're giving me a chance to do this stuff, and it's nice to, my originality is a really important part of my life, and it's also nice to not have to lead with that, with my painting and the big BRAT, and to just like have a space where I don't have to be so serious, and if my identity comes through, then it comes through, if not, like, whatever. It's just a space for me to be free, and I think we all need to have space to let our inner BRATs out and be free as well. So thank you for the chance to be part of this. Thanks, Uncle, for, like, it's an absolute honour, like, those words. I don't really ever say that because it's like a genuine honour for me. Listening to you speak there, I feel like could be at any time in human history, and just like what a gift to share a moment with you and to be here today. And Mum, thanks for giving me my art school. Of just like, rolling around the house with paint, and when I started with this journey, and my mum walking in and being like, what are you actually doing? Like, what is the intention here? And I don't know, it's just coming out. Like, it's not chasing a career. Like, I actually need this for my sanity. Like, this has to just come out and now. So yeah, it's really cool to have here and to share this together, and for Yali, who might be running around with kids. Yeah, thanks for the love and the support and the encouragement to be an artist. And yeah, I hope we can all really start being artists, and if you're scared of playing with paint, don't be, it's just paint. Paint over if you need to.
Thanks, Brad. So I think continue to enjoy the exhibition, and you know the best way to support and encourage artists is to acquire work. So you should come and see me for that. Thank you.